Hello and welcome to the Top Gun Aerospace Academy. This is Stuart, StratoCast level 3, and I'm flying today with Chemical Xav. So Chemical Xav's come back here to do a PvP game, and we're going to be just going at each other with two aerospace fighters. We've set the BV limit as 2,500, which is actually quite good for a now what are they called? Is this a wing, isn't it? A wing is 2, a squadron is 6,
Yes.
and a flight is 18. So we don't have lances. So we've got a wing of 2 aerospace fighters here, and also we're going to show off the other pieces of equipment. So if I double click on my Hellcat, I have selected from the equipment an Arrow anti-air missile. That's the AAA missile. The Arrow anti-air missiles take up 5 bomb slots, so that's 10 bomb slots there already. And the 2 bomb slots I've got left, because I'm a 60 tonner, I've spent on rocket pods. Now that does mean I'm going to lose 3 movement points, so my movement is gone from let's look at the view. I have to go to the view of the aerospace fighter. Here we go. It's gone from a 6.9 to a 3.5. It doesn't say it on here, but it will do that in the game. The Sabre, much lighter, is only 25 tons, so it's only got 5 slots. So I decided to load up on light anti-air missiles. Light anti-air missiles only do 6 points of damage each. They're over here, LAA missiles, and each one takes up 2 slots. So I have 1 slot left over for some unguided rockets. What did you choose, Av?
So I'm rocking a Stingray F90, who's also packing 2 AAA missiles and a single light anti-aircraft missiles.
A slightly bigger Corax.
And then a 30-ton Corax is currently rocking 2 rocket pods and 2 light anti-aircraft missiles.
So that should be interesting. We're playing today on the low, or not on the low altitude, on the ground map. Now, this is a bit of a problem in aerospace if you're playing just on the ground map, and most MegaMek aerospace games do. That does pose this problem that you end up with everything being in short range, because remember, range 1 is 16 hexes, and so range 6, which is short range, is doing a quick bit of maths there. What's that? 48, 58, 64, 64, 70, 80 hexes. So 80 hexes is bigger than the map, because we're playing on a 64 by 68. So again, doesn't, I think sometimes the game is a bit let down by that, but that's part of the playing on MegaMek. And I think playing on the low altitude map is a bit better, and what we'll do is we'll actually see that in action. So I'm going to save this game, and we might then restart it afterwards at a different time with just do that Top Gun 1. We're going to save that game, and then we might restart it with the low altitude map instead, seeing how we go. So I'm all ready, you're all ready. We've set our deployment zones to north and south. We've set our map to the infamous Iwo Jima. It's not actually really Iwo Jima, it's more Wake Island, I think, in its size. And I'm going to click I'm done. So initiative straight away goes. Oh, we've got individual initiative turned on. That's interesting.
Oh, that'll make it fun.
Yeah, let's keep it on the individual initiative. The other type of initiative we could literally pass off in each other. So this way actually it makes it a bit more fun. So I'm going to click Done for the initiative report. My turn to deploy. Let's come in high. So again, altitude is life. But cloud cover means that if I'm at level 10, I won't be able to see my opponent if he's below level 10. But what I can do is I can set my other fighter down to level 8. And that way he can see the whole board. And because it's set on individual initiative, we could end up with a situation where both my fighters go last, or both my fighters go first. So it does change things up a bit. Now, although that looks like a long distance away that Xav's deploying, you have to remember it's still effectively short range. Right, into our first initiative round here. So the turn order is me, Darius, Darius, and then me. So my Saber is going to lead off. And since I've lost the initiative, I think I'm going to go a bit defensive. Got a lot of thrust to play with this guy. It's got a thrust of 11-17. I can move 8 and do my thrust turn, or I can move further and get my free turn. I think I'll move further and get my free turn. Off we go. One thing I should have done there is I should have hit the evade button. So I'm just getting sensor returns now because I've lost visual line of sight on them. We have got, of course, radar on this. So if we look on the systems, not systems, extras, is it? Yeah, aero sensor suite active. We haven't got alternate sensors rules enabled, but I can see everything on radar. Not a lot of armor on the Saber. 17, 21, 17, and 17 on the aft. Light PPC, 2 ER medium lasers, and my underwing missiles. Because I've got 5 slots filled, that does mean that my velocity is gone down by 1. to 10:15. So originally it was 11:17, now it's 10:15. Oh, there goes Xav's first fighter under the cloud cover, so we can't shoot at each other. And there goes the second one. So the question is, how low are they? Again, one of the problems with this system is that, I think I'll accelerate once. One of the problems with this system is that the dead zone is 16 hexes per level of difference. So if I go down twice, that brings me below the cloud layer. And let's start looking for targets. Now I'm below the cloud layer and head towards them. I can't actually still see what level they are until I actually get there. So where's the second one? The second one's there. So I think what I'll do is give another point of acceleration. How many points have I got? I've got 3. So that's chuck in all 3. 1, 2. Let's put in 2 and go down. That gives me 3 acceleration points. Go down twice. That gives me more than enough movement. And if I do a little bit of a change direction here, change direction there, use my last point of thrust for an extra direction change there, and here I get a 3 direction change, so I can turn to there. And I've spent 4 thrust points, which is putting me into my unsafe thrust. So that is going to mean I'm going to need to, well, it's going to give me a negative to hit. I don't have to make a piloting check roll though, because I've only spent 4 thrust and my structure integrity is 6. Tally ho. So what you're at altitude, what? Can't actually see on there. What altitude?
So which one? The Stingray?
The Stingray.
Or the...
And then, weirdly enough, the name's covering up.
So the Stingray's altitude 10.
Oh, he's gone above the cloud layer. Okay.
But your Sabre is altitude 10, isn't it?
On the Corsair's altitude 9, so I can't actually fire on the cloud, the altitude 9 one. But my Sabre is altitude 10, and so you'll be able to fire on my Sabre. And this is where I should have hit evade. So I haven't got a line of sight, so I'm going to skip firing.
I'm a bit confused.
And if I try and fire here, I'm not going to be able to fire because it will say the target is in dead zone. So what's up, Xav?
I cannot select with either of my aircraft.
So
any of your aircraft.
Your Corax
is at altitude 9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it should be outside the dead zone.
But I can't select.
What's it saying in the box when you try and?
I'm selecting the Korak.
No, I
can't because it's.
If you right click and do target.
Well, first of all, I've got to select the Stingray.
Yeah.
So I've got the Stingray. If I right click and target Sabre, and I select any of my weapons, it says to hit 0% outside of visual and sensor range.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Because we're both at altitude 10, aren't we?
Yeah. So you'd expect, and that's the Stingray firing.
That's the Stingray.
Interesting. Well, we'll carry on and see what happens, because that might be a bug that they're both at 10. They should, in the weapons phase, both be able to fire at each other.
Okay, so my Corax can target your saber for some reason.
Yeah, the Corax is one level below, but it's more than 16 hexes away. And I'll skip firing on my Hellcat because he can't fire at anything.
Nice, managed to get a hit.
So I've taken large pulse laser and 7 armor remaining, and it goes over the threshold, causing an avionics system hit, which gives me +1 to piloting rolls and an instant control roll, and a light air-to-air missile which does 6 damage, which goes over threshold but doesn't cause a crit. So now I'm going to have to make a control roll at the end of this turn. We'll go out of control. Just one control roll. There we go. And I succeed both rolls. One for the avionics hit and one for the damage. That's a good roll there. For a second there I thought my Sabre might be a gunner. I think if both of them had fired it probably would have been, but I'm not sure what happened there with the Stingray. It's an interesting thing. They're both at level 10, so you'd think they both can see each other. So what's the initiative report on this turn? Darius' turn to move. So you, Mimi, and you. Corax, Hellcat, Saber, then the Stingray last. So what's the Corax going to do? He's got a lot of thrust. He can really get across the map quite easily.
Indeed.
The other key fact in this air-to-air combat is, can you get behind somebody? Because if you're behind somebody, it's +0. If you're on the side, it's +2, and if you're head-on, it's +1. I've always wondered if AeroTech would be better if it had target movement modifiers like BattleTech. Because it doesn't matter how far you move or how fast you're moving, whether you're a slow moving bomber or a fast moving fighter, you still get the same to hit numbers. I think that might be a kind of a flaw with the system. Off he goes. Okay, so I've cut my velocity down to 1. And where have you gone? You've gone all the way around there. Okay. Trying to encourage me into a head-to-head. So I think if I get my velocity up to 2, I should be able to quite easily get around behind you. And what altitude are you on? You're altitude 9, so I'm going to have to spend 2 thrust to get up 1 altitude. So that only leaves me with 1 more acceleration. So going up will cost me 2 thrust. And then I need to accelerate first before I go up. You always have to accelerate first. There we go. And now I can decide how I'm going to move. I can probably come on the side. I'm not sure I can get in behind you. That's not very good. Almost takes me off the map. Again, one of the problems with the with this system is flying off the map. I don't want to go to overthrust, because if I go to overthrust, it will increase my target numbers. But I might just end up overshooting you. So it looks like I might have to spend some overthrust to be able to target you. So if I go to there, I can use 1 point of thrust to change direction. That puts me on 4 thrust points. And then 1 point of thrust to change direction again. There, and then get my free facing change to there, and that does put me in your fire arc, in my forward fire arc. That's what you get for being a slow bomb-laden fighter, but my Saber should have no trouble getting in behind you, because you've got a move of 9 and I've got a lot of thrust. Don't even need to speed up there. Actually, okay, I'll need to speed up to go down 1 actually. That's going to make things a bit more difficult. So I'm going to go down 1. If you go down 1, it doesn't actually increase your velocity. It's only if you go down 2. So that's okay. If I'm here, that puts me directly in your rear fire arc. It shows you that initiative can be quite swingy in AeroTech. But now the Stingray's got the advantage. It just needs to drop in altitude, because we're all at altitude 9 at the moment. And that won't increase your velocity. So who are you going to go for? If he goes for my smaller fighter, my Hellcat might still be able to get him into his fire arc. Or is he going to go face to face with the Hellcat? Put the mini map up. What is nice about the ground map is you can see all the trace lines where the fighters have gone, so it makes it easier to find them.
Actually, let's have a bit of fun.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Fun at my expense, maybe. I found if you lose initiative, sometimes just going face to face with a person actually helps. Ooh, what did you do?
Oh, that maneuver failed. Interesting.
Ah, so you tried a maneuver and it failed, and then that moved you 8 hexes forward, did it?
Yes.
And you carry on your movement from that point, though, don't you?
Yes.
I don't think you can try the maneuver again, can you?
No, it doesn't seem like it.
If you go to maneuvers, it's grayed out. So if you do fail a maneuver, it doesn't mean you crash, doesn't mean you lose control. It just means you fail to do the maneuver. So he's going to go face to face. Oh, this looks dangerous. But he hasn't got a fire arc on my light fighter. On my saber. So movement report done. Let's get to the weapons phase. We're using simultaneous firing. I think most people in MegaMek do. Just speed things up a bit. So I can actually now use my arrow missiles here. And this is a very overgunned fighter. And since I'm firing on his nose, I'm at +1. And I can fire both of my arrow air-to-air missiles. So Fox 1, Fox 2, and heat-wise, there's no heat build-up because they just like drop off the racks. Might as well throw in the rocket launcher pods as well. The rocket launcher pods do 6 damage. The reason they do 6 damage is because we're using Aerospace, and in Aerospace the damage for cluster weapons is always set at the whatever the 8 roll is, and an 8 roll on a 10 rack is 6. Again, not sure why. I think it's just going to speed things up, but you know, it's one of those things I do wonder why they did that. And let's do a combination. Let's have a couple of medium lasers. That's 6 heat, and we'll get the left wing medium laser. Can't get the right wing medium laser in, and then 1 PPC on the left wing because I can't actually get the right wing PPC on him. That puts me at 19 heat, and there's no heat for movement in AeroTech unless you've got damaged engines. Done firing. What's the Saber going to do? So the Saber's got the nose PPC, light PPC, right wing ER medium laser, and let's pop off both of these. And these are mounts, count as nose. And we'll pop the rocket launcher off as well. So if you didn't know, actually, if you press, I think it's Shift and T, you get this tracker little window here. Not many people use it, but it actually tells you everything you're doing in that action. Right, this is going to be a bit of a mess. So these anti-aircraft missiles really mean business. So the Stingray hits the Hellcat for 20 damage on the nose, dropping the armor to 35. So they've still got massive amounts of armor. It's not like missiles knock out planes completely. Less than nuclear. AAA missile again takes 20 damage to the right wing, crits the PPC out, nasty. And then a light missile hits, does 6 damage to the nose. PPC hits the left wing. Right wing gets a crit, and heatsink destroyed. Quite nasty. Hellcat lands his missile on the nose. Landing gear destroyed. Oh, rolls a 12, but rolls landing gear destroyed twice. It's a bit weird. Unlike vehicles, you can roll the same crit twice. You don't re-roll crits or move them up. So again, another weird thing of AeroTech that maybe could have been improved. But you can hit the same crit twice. AAA missile does 20 damage to the left wing. No effect. Rocket launcher hits and then does cluster 5 on 1. And the rocket launcher misses. Bunch of medium lasers on the nose, down to 17 armor. Oh, and then the PPC misses. And the Sabre. Oh god, look at that. 2 engine hits.
Yep.
So 2 engine hits is -4 thrust. Which is a bit weird. It's just a flat -2. It's not a percentage. So it's not going to affect you as much as you might think, because you've got quite a lot of thrust to start off with. The anti-air missiles hit, and the rocket launcher hits. But he's still going. Nothing's gone into the red. Just the crits on the engine. And that's actually one of the advantages of attacking from aft, because there are more engine crits on the aft crit table. And there's also the fuel crit, which is the worst one. Oh dear. So the Hellcat has gone out of control. So what that means now is I'm going to be flying straight. Okay. Dead stick. And the Hellcat loses 3 elevation. Elevation is life. That's why I was flying at level 9. The Darius, the Stingray makes a control roll, and Darius is Xav's character's name, which we play in a Time of War campaign, which we use MegaMek for. And he makes a second roll. What was his second roll for?
Damage. They're both because of damage.
Oh, they're both the same, aren't they? They're both one's for the Stingray, one's for the Corax. So this is not looking good for me. Initiative, it doesn't really matter why I rolled here. Although my Sabre does go last, which is good. And my Hellcat, it doesn't matter what initiative he's on, because he's just flying straight. And where I am, I don't know if I might fly off the map. Again, one of the disadvantages of playing on the ground map is it's very easy to fly off the map. And if I do fly off the map, I am going to come back on. And I do fly off the map. There's nothing I can do about it, because all I can do is go straight. One of the improvements they made, though, on this is I was saying illegal move. That's interesting. I think basically if I go anywhere like this, it will still just fly me forward, even though it said illegal move. And then it'll fly me off the map. But I won't be gone. Under the prior system, you'd just be gone. He will come back on again, I think. Flies off map. Interestingly, he doesn't fly off the map yet. So you still actually get to fire at him before he leaves the map, which is another good thing that you can actually... again, you could say it's good. It's a limitation in the game, because if you had a really fast flying unit, it could fly really, really far. Now you're going to try and do some fancy maneuver with that Stingray to get behind the the Hellcat and shoot it before it goes off.
Maybe.
I'm 2 levels below you, so it'd be perfect for an Immelman turn.
Split S.
Oh, split S. Immelman is up, isn't it? Split S. So split S would drop you down 2 levels. Depends what your velocity is, actually. Yeah, the manoeuvres are quite hard to do if you've got a pilot with a skill of 5, because they're going to be rolling against 5 plus 2, 7, minus 1, 6 base anyway. 6 plus whatever the difficulty for the manoeuvre is. So actually I'm on level 6, so you have to go down quite far. You'd have to actually do a split S and lose an altitude, and that would force you into a control roll actually. So that might not be a good idea, going after my Hellcat. Unless you got 16 hexes away. You could drop 2 levels and get 16 hexes away and be outside of the dead zone. So interesting, you can use the Arrow 4 missiles and the AAA missiles and the light AA missiles in space as well. Quite good against attacking capital ships, although they only do 2 capital damage. And the other way for fighters to threaten capital ships is to use space bombs. We have a Stingray in our current campaign game, which has, amazingly, I have no idea how it managed to do this, shot down 2 lightnings and 2 thrushes and is still alive. We had 2 Chippewas go at a armoured convoy, and they made 2 passes and both got shot down on the second pass. So a lot of people say that the Aerospace can be quite powerful against ground attack, but usually I find it's a one-off thing with your bombs. So Stingray could drop, how many? 12 bombs? It's 120 points of damage. If they all hit. Oh, there goes the... What's he done? Oh, he's gone all the way around there, which actually puts it... Oh, he's on level 6. So he was on level... What level was he on before?
He was on level 9.
Oh, you've taken a risk, have you? So you'll end up having to make a piloting skill roll. But it does make it harder for my Sabre to target him, because my Sabre's going to have to go down as well. Going to flick open to Total Warfare. and get that table up. That's very useful with the turns. There we go. So if I'm on the ground map, speed 3 is 16 hexes and speed 4 is 20 hexes per free turn. Well, I can spend thrust to turn as well, but it costs me 1 thrust for my velocity divided by 2. So whatever my velocity divided by 2 is, it's gonna cost me quite a lot to make those extra turns. What's the Stingray doing?
A surprise.
It's not going to be a good surprise. And again, although it looks like that Corax is quite far away from my Hellcat, it's not. It's still only range 2 because it's less than 32 hexes. And sometimes aerospace can be really fiddly on this map to get things exactly where you want them to be.
Yeah, I was struggling earlier with the Corax.
But I think a lot of people come to playing AeroTech on MegaMek and trying to work it as they go along and not really knowing what the rules are, and that doesn't help. So actually knowing that table, this table, which I'll show in a sec, I want to flip over, is really important because you can work out the number of movements you have to do before you get that free turn, or why things cost the things they do. You can see our movements have gone back up to 1117 now that we've dropped the missiles off.
Yep. Let's see what Strategos has up his plans. Or what plans he has up his sleeves.
Off we go. Where's he going to go?
Where is who going?
I just realised all this time that it's been my go, not yours.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. I'm going to do this quickly then. So, I'm going to get behind the Corax, and I need to go down to level 6. Don't think I'm going to get down to level 6. So I'm going to go down twice. I'm going to accelerate twice. 1, 2, go down twice. And I'll try and get 16 behind you. Every time I'm turning here, because I'm at velocity 4, it's costing me 2 frost points to do that. So I'm going to go to 9. So 4 to 2. So I've spent 4 frost points so far. I've got plenty of frost points though. And am I going to overshoot? I'm going to overshoot here. So unless I go around a bit more, go around the houses a bit more. There we go. Turn here. And I've got, this shows how having such a maneuverable aerospace fighter actually helps. It's not enough though. It's going to bring me up short because I can't turn there. So let's try that again. Accelerate twice. Go down twice. Get a free turn. Let's try and go out a bit further. Get a free turn. I'm trying to get 16 hexes between us. And then I'm going to go down, get a free turn. And there we go, perfection. No, it's not perfection, is it? Because I'm at altitude 7 and you're at altitude 6, so that's not going to work. So let's go a bit faster. 1, 2, 3, and go down twice. So now I really need to swing out far. Can take a thrust turn there. Puts me at the 5 thrust. And a thrust turn there. And that does move 16 hexes away. There we go.
I see.
Does mean your Stingray could come for me now though.
You're right, he could come for you.
He's on altitude 9, so you'd have to come down a couple of levels. I don't really think you can get back around to the Hellcat. Oh, have you moved?
Yes.
Oh, you did.
Notice what I did with the Stingray?
Hmm?
Did you see what I did with the Stingray?
Did you hover or did you do a...
I hit the brakes and let you fly right by.
Yes, there we go.
I hit hover, decelerated to 0, hit hover. It calculated 3 movement points, but it's kept me at altitude 9 in the same spot.
That's always useful, and you can get your long range shot at me because, again, although it looks like a long way, it's still only, in aerospace terms, about range 4. I do.
For clarification, the missiles, so the AAA missiles and the light anti-aircraft missiles, were all out of range from your Sabre.
They were all out of range.
All the missiles I've bought for the pylons were considered out of range. or
Interesting.
the normal aircraft laser weaponry is in range.
Because you wouldn't think they'd be out of range because the
Maybe it's because they're affected by altitude, but not the lasers,
they shouldn't be. So I'm at
or unless it's a bug.
47, so that's going to be range 4. So it's still within short range for everything.
It said none of the missiles could be. It was saying out of range, and it was showing me the green hexes. Your saber was a hex, one hex out of range for the AAA missiles, the
That
Arrow anti-aircraft
might be
missiles.
a little bit of a bug you've discovered. So the missiles aren't using the correct ranges on the aerospace map. So let's fire up on the Saber's going to fire up on the Corax here. Attacking from the side, I think. Attacking not in arc. Oh, that's because I've got the Hellcat on. The Hellcat can't fire at any... Actually, if a Hellcat can fire, if you're out of control, you can fire. But you're at a plus modifier. So I can fire my aft medium laser at the Stingray.
Ooh.
My one medium laser. Is it going?
Let me
Or
guess. Does it
actually,
like
I can't. I can't because you're 3 levels above me. So you're in my dead zone. But I can fire at the Corax.
Yes.
And what was that to hit? Actually, let's just cancel that. Just to have a look. It was short range, but out of control for +1, and targeting the nose +1, +2 for out of control, +1 for against the nose. There we go.
That should make this fight interesting.
And the Saber.
Go on, kill the Corax.
Well, can only fire the right wing laser.
I have
No,
to
the
say,
left wing
Corax
laser.
is quite a nice little nifty 30-ton light aircraft.
And one light PPC. So not a lot of damage. Only 10 points of damage going on here. Whether that's enough.
You're using inner sphere weaponry, that's why.
Whether that's enough to do anything. Right, what happens?
Okay. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, that's not. Stingray hits the Saber with an avionics system, a crit on the light PPC, and an avionics hit. So that's 2 criticals and another +2 to control rolls. But still alive. The Corax hits the Hellcat with a double engine hit. Nasty. That's actually going to affect me more.
You hit the nose.
And the Hellcat, the Saber is possibly out of control. Hits a control roll, on the Corax. So the Corax might be out of control. That's a control crit. And the Hellcat does hit it with a rear firing laser. So lots of control rolls there, and the Hellcat, of course, is flying off.
Oof.
So we've got some different things going on here. First of all, the Saber must make 3 control rolls, avionics, and 24 damage at +1. So base target number is 11 because I've already got, and it's 11. I can see it's 11 because if I hover over, I've got 4 plus 5 for avionics destroyed because I've taken 3 avionics hits. So +2 for atmospheric operations, -1 for flight, and then the avionics hits get reset to 0 because its avionics destroyed is +5. So because I go out of control and I failed that first roll by 3, I just go out of control. But because I failed this second roll by 7, if you fail by more than 5, you get random movement on your next turn.
Oh, this could be interesting.
So I've lost 5 levels of altitude because of this. The Corax, though, also goes out of control and also does a random movement, I think, because critical needs 10 rolls of 4, goes out of control, and a random movement. And only loses 1 level of elevation. So we're both going to be randomly moving around. So when you get random movement, you get the velocity, and for every velocity, which in this case is 16 hexes, you have to roll on the random movement table, which is, if I quickly look it up, over here. So it's interesting. And remember, hex is here. This is the random movement, as in low altitude. 1 hex means 16 hexes in this instance.
Yes.
I think.
Oh dear.
So what happens here? So the random movement won't kick in until you do your movement. So you enter your movement, and I fly off, and I redeploy in turn 8. So I'm not going to fly back on for 4 turns. I don't know if my fighter will still be here at that point. So Darius' turn to move.
Yes.
So
it is Darius.
What one are you moving first?
It's the Stingray who has to.
Oh, the Stingray. First. So that's difficult because you don't actually know where I'm going to be. So you could almost hover again and just stay there. But actually you're too high, because I've gone down huge amounts. I've gone down to, what level am I on now? So I'm on altitude 2. So that's a difference for 7. So you're going to find it very difficult to, impossible to target me. Even if you went down to altitude 7, that's still a difference of 5, which is, doing a quick bit of maths, still is, I don't know, what is it, 80 hexes or something? Yeah, 5 times 16. So unless you went on a very dangerous dive, it's impossible to target him. So at least he's got that one advantage. The Stingray hasn't taken any damage really so much so far. What's he taken? Oh no, he took a lot of damage at the beginning. So got 17 on the nose. A bit vulnerable there, a bit vulnerable on the left wing. The Corax is fine except for the aft. 3 armor left in the aft, so 12 points of damage to the aft will kill it. And my saber is a bit all over the place. 1 on the right wing, 2 on the left wing. So either of the wings will go through to the structural integrity. And no avionics. So regaining control is going to be next to impossible. Again, one thing that's kind of wrong, I guess, with the way this rules work is that if I'm going to fly off, then it will fly me back on, but when I fly back on, I'll be in control again. Whereas if it's on the low altitude map, I just stay out of control until I crashed. So what's the Stingray doing?
Something special.
Something special. Is he going to try doing a dive?
Oh, he's doing something.
Okay, so he's dropped 2. on altitude 7. So you just click anywhere and it basically just moves you forward. Oh, it didn't do a random movement. Your random movement was just forward 1.
No, it did. It did a random movement because I tried to circle back.
Yeah. What happens with these is you click anywhere. So if I click blah, 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 I click anywhere on my movement, as long as it's a legal move, but then it won't let me do it. So I click like that and click a movement and it won't do it now. But because I'm on velocity 2, it will give me 2 random movements. So when I click move now, off he goes. But because of it basically pauses me at the edge of the map, which means I can still be shot at. But because I'm at altitude 2, that's not going to happen. So there's going to be no more firing that turn, and I'm going to fly off.
Yeah, it calls him a dead zone.
But weirdly, both my things are going to fly back on. So you get, when am I going to fly back on? Doesn't say yet.
Oof, my core axis
and you're still out of control. So you might fly off. And I'm coming back in on round 9 with the saber. So you've got 2 turns of basically flying around now.
Do you pick the altitude when it comes back in?
No, I don't. I should. I think you might pick the altitude. Not sure. Let's see. I can't see your saber anymore, so you'll have to. Oh, let's cheat, shall we? Actually, so I can. I'm going to vote myself GM. There we go. Is that the command? No, it's got to be lowercase, hasn't it? There you go. You want to do me vote GM?
Ah, but then it won't be a surprise. Could not recognize command.
Allow GM, sorry. So if you do capital A for allow and GM in small cases.
Okay. No.
Or is it a small A?
How do you type it?
It's a small A. / allow GM.
One word.
Yeah. GM is small, lowercase.
Doesn't accept it.
Interesting. Oh no, it's uppercase. So do allow with lowercase a, and GM is uppercase GM. Oh yeah, it's done. There we go. So now I can see.
Stalls out, loses elevation.
Oh, I still can't see actually. Thought that would allow me to see everything.
I think my Corax might be in trouble. Can you give me just a minute, please?
See you all. There we go. Oh, I still can't see it. Oh well. You can actually see some of the GM commands there. GM commands really useful while Xav's doing that. That you can do things like changing unit ownership even though you don't own it, which is quite useful. You change the planetary conditions. Disaster I haven't tried. Kill unit if you've got a unit really that dies due to a reason, or it just should have died. Extinguish a fire. Set a fire, which is good for an interesting narrative effect. Orbital bombardment is good for if you want to simulate explosions. Not sure what rescue unit does.
Maybe for the terms and purposes of whether someone lives or dies, you can select the fact they actually live by doing rescue unit.
So it takes them off the map and puts them to safety.
Okay. Just waiting on you for the movement report.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I can see suddenly. There we go. So you've got that's turn 7.
Aha. He has regained control.
Does he regain control before he flies off?
The Corax has regained control.
Ah, there you go. Done.
But he's not looking very healthy.
You've got one more turn movement, and then Saber comes in on the next turn. So we're on turn 6. You've got 2 turns movement, 6 and 7 then. So while Xav's doing that, let's have a look at some of the other console commands if you haven't used them before. So in the console here you can do several things like rolling dice. So roll 2d6. You can just click help, which will give you all of the options that you can use. Some of those are GM only. Some of the useful ones there are who, and that will tell you what players are there. I think it'll also tell you what IP address is, so I won't put that on there. You can also do victory. So if you're playing on Mech HQ and you want to declare victory, or you've just decided in your game you want to declare victory, you can just do /victory, and you've got to put the password. Force skip is useful if someone's not responding, like they've gone away from keyboard and you're fed up of waiting for them. Replace player, if someone's leaving, you can replace them with a bot. So you can do replace player princess, and if you type in like replace player, so if I wanted to replace Xav by an automaton, I could do replace player, and it won't do anything. It'll tell me what the parameters are. /P for princess, and then you to put the player number in. Our default configuration is princess anyway. A lot of these commands you need to know what the player's number is, so you can do that by doing /who, because that'll tell you what number player they are, what server they are. So replace player name, and then that's the name of the person you're replacing, unless you're replacing yourself. Sometimes replace player is quite useful if you're playing a game where you want to put the turrets down. So you have an instance of MegaMek, you put the turrets down and then you replace yourself with a bot and the bot takes over the turrets. Oh, movement report finished. There you go. And you've got one more movement to do. Corax isn't looking too healthy. I think it's only in the aft though. On the thing here, you can see everything you need to know about them. So all the key movement data there. It's at 5.8 because it's lost 4 movement. No pilot damage. Armor, weapons. If there's a star next to them, destroyed. System. And extras like, are you carrying any bombs, or do you want to turn heat sinks off? Not that you really want to do that for a mech. Only a mech really, not a aerospace fighter. Right, movement report finished. Okay, heat phase, and so let's see what happens here. I come in and I start on, so the Hellcat's coming in, and where does the Hellcat deploy? So we have like a deployment phase here, where I can deploy anywhere on this edge of the map. And at any altitude. So it's a bit weird that. Does make it a bit easier by doing that. I suppose you could say it's because, you know, he's already been flying around for 4 turns, but in a way I haven't had to make my regain control roll. I've gone out of control, I've flown off the map, but I don't have to regain control. I am actually technically crippled, and if we were playing the forced withdrawal rules, campaign rules, I'd have to actually withdraw because I've taken 2 engine hits. Because I've taken 2 engine hits, I've actually only got a movement of 2 free as well, so not going to be much of a threat. What was the initiative? So initiative was me last. Maybe I will be a threat. Oh, what was that? An in woman? A split S? A split S.
It was a split S plus a climb.
And then the Corax. Now, one tactic that you could use here, Xav, is to have your two fighters literally fly past each other, so I can't get behind either of them.
It sounds like you've almost read what I'm doing.
Sure, there's a name for that in aerospace, in normal fighter speak.
Not that I'm aware of. Just simply, you just tell them you're bringing them in. Yeah, you're bringing them in close and doing a flyby.
The one flaw though in your plan is you didn't drop the altitude by one there on the Corax.
The software didn't. Yeah, I did down, but when I redid the thing, it didn't work.
Yeah, because if you pressed escape, but then you didn't go down again.
Oh well.
So I'm on velocity 1. So I don't need to spend any thrust. Not the best shot because I'm going at the side. And I've lost 1 PPC. But I have lost some heat sinks as well, so that's going to overheat me. But take your opportunities where you can. So 7 or over is going to give me a 5+ chance of a random movement next turn. Oh. Well, no crits, just lots of armor damage. And still plenty of armor left. I think it's the nose on the Stingray I really wanted to get at. Did you fail the control roll? No, you passed the control roll. So I think now we're all quite low. As my friend George says, lawn darting is quite a possibility. And the Saber's coming back on. Here comes the Saber. And the Saber's coming on from the south. So what's the initiative?
Your Saber's all the way over there.
Well, the Saber goes last. Corax, Hellcat, Stingray, Saber. So the Corax has got so much movement. One of the things it could do to avoid danger is it could just spend 10 thrust and just go above the cloud level. And I just haven't got enough thrust to keep up with it. One of the advantages of a high thrust light fighter is they can actually do some quite impressive things. So is he going to stay in the fight or bug out higher? It's flown a long way around. It's 4. It's staying on the ground. I feel like it's time for some acrobatic Xav. So how about we accelerate? We do a Immelman. Oh, I need to be on velocity 3 to do an Immelman. So let's do a hammerhead. I feel like I might regret this. Hammerhead you can do any speed. And then we'll come out of the hammerman. And if this works, it's going to be incredibly impressive. There we go. So we're going to come out of the hammerman and go straight into the side of the Corax. Are you ready for the drum roll?
Yep.
I need an 8. He gets it.
Where'd he go?
No, he flew off the map. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And because I've flown off the map, I actually don't get to actually spend the rest of my movement. That's another weird flaw in the ground movement map. Normally I'd get to spend, I'd fail my maneuver, I'd move forward 1, and I'd get to spend the rest of my movement, but I don't in this. So now I should be an easy kill for the Stingray. Stingray just needs to do a bit of maneuvering and get around, get a shot on me, which might be the difficult part. Or you can just hover and shoot me from where you are.
I don't know if I'm in your, if you're in my weapons firing arc.
One forward and in a V. So I'm in your forward fire arc now.
Your turn.
So it's all up to my saber now. Who's my saber going to go after? So your Corax is really busted up on the aft. And your Stingray is really busted up on the nose. But I think going nose to nose with your Stingray right now is probably a bad idea. What's your height on your... Can't find him now. Where's he gone? There he is. 4. Right, okay. So I've got plenty of movement with this guy. Let's just punch up 3 more accelerations. That puts me on velocity of 2. Plus 2 more. It's velocity 4. And that should be plenty to get me around behind you. So accelerate, accelerate. Go to there. Cut along this axis. Oop, backspace. Get a free turn here. And use a frost turn here. No, that's not gonna work. It's gonna get me too far behind you. It's when these things sometimes just don't quite work out how you want. So the delete backspace key is actually really useful in those situations. Can't believe we didn't know how to use it before, and we just ended up having to press escape every time we got it wrong. And that puts me behind you, I think. Is that the rear? Yeah, it's just into the rear.
Oh, there we go.
He is fast. Getting those extra turns with the thrust is really useful.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my Corax will bite the dust here.
I just feel like the game's cheating in a way. My Hellcat does get to fire on you with its one medium laser in the aft. I think aft weapons are really valuable in AeroTech.
Yeah, I was always wondering why, considering I only knew BattleTech, and it's like, why would you put that in a rear weapon? It's like, well, now I see why.
I've only got one ER medium laser because I've got no light PPC, and yeah. Is it going to hit? Ooh, oh! Engine destroyed. Nasty. And yeah, that's the Hellcat gone.
But you hit me with an engine hit.
So I've hit the... No, I didn't hit you with an engine hit, did I? No, I just hit you with a normal hit.
Stingray, possible through armor critical engine hit.
Oh, on the Stingray. So...
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Because he was hitting on the nose, I guess. Did he hit on the nose? No, he hit on the aft. Everyone's taking damage here. Initiative's going to be important in this one. And I lose it. I think this is going to be the last turn for me.
Oh, yes.
So let's have a good opportunity to use the evade to try and make it as hard. Actually, I'm going to do what I say. I'm going to use the very, very evasive maneuver here. Oh, you're moving first. I thought I was moving. Did I win initiative or lose it? You round report. Oh, the Corax is going last. Stingray first. So I don't think the Stingray is going to catch up with me. I might be able to get a kill on the Stingray. Where's the Stingray gone? He's evading, going evasive. Ideally, I want to hit him on the nose. Now, the best way to hit him on the nose is to go for the side. And I'm on velocity, well, that's my velocity 2 at the moment. So let's just go straight. What altitude are you at? You still at altitude 4?
Yes.
So let's get a turn. That's not enough movement. Let's go back. That'll do. Now I get my free turn. So all I need to do is get to that point and tuck in, and there we are. Unfortunately, the Corax is going to have something to say about this. What velocity is the Corax at?
He was at a velocity.
He's at velocity 1. So don't really need to go that fast to actually get to me. You can probably just get to me with a velocity 1 maneuver. Unless you want to get in behind me. But actually, my wings are more damaged because I've got only like one armor left on the left wing and the right wing. So unless something spectacular happens here, I'm going to die. Or Xav's dice fail him.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There we go. So fire phase, let's put both of my remaining ER medium lasers into the side. Let's hope one of them hits the nose. And the Stingray can't fire anything where he is. So it's just up to the Corax to save the day. And that Corax has got an impressive amount of weaponry. Ooh, he didn't die. So what happened there? 9 damage to the nose. And 2 damage to the structure integrity. Pilot injured, successful. And I missed both my shots. So alive for another turn. Not sure how that happened. And oh, the opposite result this time. Corax moving first. Which is actually a bit more dangerous because the Stingray's got even more weapons. I did a very high target numbers to hit the Stingray because when you go evasive, you get I don't know what the evasive roll is now. So what's it say? Evasive. Yeah, evasive action by a fighter is +3. And a fixed wing is +2. But interestingly, dropships can take evasive maneuvers and still fire, but fighters can't.
That's probably because it's a dropship.
Has like multiple people on the guns.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, he did a turn, did he?
The hammerhead.
Hammerhead. Pulled it off. Let's now, if I remember rightly, it's your aft. I want to go after here. So, how much velocity am I going to need to do that? Probably one more. Actually, it might be enough. Actually, so move to here, get a free turn, get a thrust cost turn, and then let's just follow your pathway. That's could do a little being a little bit faster. Can I be a little bit faster? Let's accelerate twice. 4, 8, get a free turn, and there we go, perfect.
Let's see, where did you go? Right behind.
I think on this map especially, and almost the only thing you've got. You didn't click the evade, did you, as well?
No, because I thought I'd be all right, but
Yeah, I think it's hard, especially against a high thrust fighter, to escape from them. Almost the only way is to like go up as far as you can into the sky. Try and raise as much altitude as possible.
yeah.
But now the Stingray is going to kill me. Should make the Stingray will have no trouble. Coming in on me there.
Yep, just as soon as it decides to give me a good course.
Again, one of the problems with this is you could literally shoot at me from halfway across the map, and it would still, you'd still be able to hit me, because one hex is equivalent to 16 hexes. So he's gonna find it very easy from there, from the rear. That's what is that from the rear? Yeah, just inside the rear. So you get the +0 to hit. So you're only gonna need like 4s. In actual fact, I really should have been 1 hex over. That was a bit silly for me. If I'd have been directly behind you, I would have got both my lasers on you instead of just one. Is one laser going to be enough to finish the Korax?
No, not quite.
How am I still alive?
What have I done to you? Oh, I've taken out one of your lasers.
And 7 structure
I'm just
integrity.
chipping away at the armor.
You.
Oh, 1 laser missed. That's why.
Yeah. You left wing. 2 damage to structure integrity. 7 structure integrity remaining. We're both eating into structure integrity, but not getting crits. Well, I lost my laser.
You're down to 1 weapon.
Oh, and it's me first.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
So let's go super defensive. Two, 3, 4. Go up, go up. Seven, 8, 9, 10. And evade. Evading costs 1 movement point. So I've spent 17 thrust. So, you must make a following roll. Need 11 for 5 avionics destroyed because I've gone over thrust. What the hell? There we go. It's going to keep me safe. You must make the following checks. 20. 9 thrust and... I've exceeded my structure integrity by 9.
Oof.
That's not going to work. think we're going to have to think of another plan here. Let's do something a bit easier. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What will that be? Still need 11 because I've gone over my thrust. So go up. What's my 11? Ten thrust. Okay. Now it'll be 2 to evade, won't it? So go up 4, 6. Unfortunately, that's the best my crippled fighter is going to do, and it still exceeds my structure integrity. I think I have to make a roll every time because my avionics is destroyed. Any maneuver I make.
Oh, yeah, you're being a bit risky. But where do you think you're going?
Yeah, that's going to be a wing shot. What's the Stingray going to do? It's going to go straight. Could even just hover where he is. There is a modifier to hit if you hover. I think it's
Is it 16 hexes to be away for altitude difference?
yeah, 16 hexes per altitude difference. So what am I on altitude? What?
7.
7. So you can get up to altitude. Oh, you got up to altitude 7. You had enough thrust to do it.
Yeah, I'm having to run, but yes.
Can't fire, so bring it on. Oh, and that's it. It's gone.
Pulse laser. There we go.
Reduced to 0 structure integrity.
And it's just the medium laser that hit.
So a comprehensive defeat there.
I actually thought at one moment you'd actually kill the Korax and I'd be at a 2-to-1 disadvantage.
Yeah, I was trying. And I do think all the again, the combat on the ground map does change the game a bit. I think if we ever do this again, well, we will do this again on the low altitude map. It does make the difference. especially with the weirdness of flying off, because I think it's a real odd thing that you fly off while out of control, and then you get basically by flying off you've automatically gained control, and then you get to flying back on. You almost want it to force you to make kind of like out of control rolls to actually prove that you can do that, because otherwise you should crash into the ground. So when my Hellcat flew off out of control, it really, or my Sabre flew off with the avionics hit, and it needed 11 for the control roll. It probably should have just crashed or ejected. So some limits, and of course if you're playing on MegaMek, that's fine. You can play on the ground map, because that's really the only way to play if you're playing with ground forces. But if you're playing on tabletop, you can have the low altitude sheet and the ground sheet, and you can flick between the two and play in kind of a hybrid of both systems. So thanks for the game, even though that was a painful experience, but fun to actually play against the human opponent, and good to see some maneuvers going on there as well.
Yeah,
I think definitely in the last few games you've learned a lot more maneuvers.
yeah. I will say the rocket pods don't seem to be that damaging, and although the light anti-aircraft missiles as well seem a bit on the, was it they were doing like 6 damage, 5
Yeah,
damage?
they do 6 damage, but for 2 bomb slots. So actually you get more damage for the rockets. But it'd be interesting. I'll have to have a play around with the ranges and see what you were saying about the ranges on the.
Because I definitely think the Arrow anti-aircraft missiles, they do horrific damage, 20 damage.
Yeah, that's for
So
5. That's for 5 bomb slots. But then you do more damage with your rockets, because if you had 5 rockets, that would be 12, 18, 24, 30 damage.
So in terms of damage,
but they'd be scattered, and you've got to make 5 rolls instead of 1.
yes, I think so. Yeah, rockets are good for very late game because when aircraft are fully damaged, okay, you're scattering, but it's the same with the BattleTech. You're gonna, you're crit seeking. Well, in this case, you're not crit seeking. You're internal structure seeking. But
Yeah,
yes,
internal structures cause crits as well. Yeah, so you're looking for
whereas the arrow missile is a good opening because it just removes a huge chunk.
If I fired my arrow missile against your light fighters, it could have just blown them out of the air in one shot.
Not quite. I think he had more than 20 armor on each location.
Oh, he did. Okay, I think mine had less than 20, but then it's also got quite a lot of structural integrity to go through as well.
Yes.
Well, thanks for the game, and until next time, happy flying, or crashing in my case.